Welcome back to Stocklabs Market Recaps. We are through the midpoint of December, wrapped up Friday on December 16th. Pretty lackluster week for markets. Started off okay. We had a CPI print on Tuesday that came in quote unquote better than expected at 7 something percent instead of 7 something else percent. And then the Fed raised rates again on Wednesday. Jerome made some comments that, basically Fed's taking the inflation thing seriously. A lot of market participants have just been counting on Jerome to change his tone. He hasn't for at least 6, 7, 8 months, but, for some reason people keep getting surprised. So they got surprised again on Wednesday. And then Thursday, Friday, market sold off, gave up any gains it had for the week and more. And then we closed kind of around the weekly lows, not quite all the way weekly lows. There's a little bit of a rally in the last, like the tail end of Friday's session. So the index performance looked like Dow down 1.8%, S&P down 2.4%, NASDAQ down 2.6%, and the Russell down 2.25%. I mean, in the grand scheme, these numbers aren't horrible, for sort of the bear market we've been in this year. But it felt worse on Friday just because we had probably been up these percentages for the week at one point, and then to give it all back doesn't feel good. So bonds rallied slightly. They've kind of been in just a choppy-ish range for a couple weeks now. Crude oil bounced slightly. And what else? Okay, credit was down and gold was down. I mean, just a general down week, which all of the downward action was in the last 2-3 days of the week. So our leadership stocks also did not fare the best. Facebook outperformer, actually up 3% for the week. Microsoft flat. Amazon down 1%, 1.25%. Nvidia, Google basically in line with S&P and NASDAQ. Apple down 5%. Netflix down 9%. And Tesla smoked for 16%. Tesla's been trading really, really poorly. All the way down under 500 billion cap now, which this was $1 trillion car company at one point. So yeah, not quite sure why Tesla is doing so much worse than these other names of late, but it is. So yeah. For breadth by industry, okay, basic materials slightly down, 0.4. Utilities down 1.2, healthcare down 1.2, services underperformer down 2.7, 2.8, tech down 2.5, consumer down 2.25, financials, industrials kind of in line with the market. And subsectors, we don't have a single one that's up over 5%. There is some, the strongest ones are the oil and gas sort of sector or sectors. I think from the week prior was slightly bullish this sector coming in. But really this isn't anything too special because it had gotten taken apart, I think, the week before. So just a slight bounce for them getting back some of their losses from before. And on the downside, okay, actually we don't have too many sectors down over 5%, but we do have a lot of, the majority of the sectors, we don't even have a full page of up sectors. So the majority of the sectors were down, but not aggressively down. So that's kind of, good and bad. looks like we've got 19 sectors down 5%, and they don't appear to be concentrated in any sort of discernible pattern. So jump over to our breadth by market cap, and 1 to 5 billion. Let me just remove this split. Down 1.4%. 5 to 10 billion. So I need to remove this split. Down 1.8%. 10 to 50 billion. Down 2%. Not great. 50 to 100 billion. Down 1.6. Okay, that's slightly better for the over 50 billion crowd. 100 billion plus, down 1.9. Okay, so actually the breadth, if you sort of look at this holistically, was not as bad as the indices kind of fell apart. I mean, it was kind of in line, but there was slight underlying strength in the breadth, I would say. So like if you have over 50 billion cap stocks, they're only down 1.6, 1.8%. Indices were down 2.5 ish. So you could say that, you know, there's slight strength in the overall market as opposed to the cap weighted indices. So we'll see. I mean, even on the smaller cap stuff, they were kind of in line with the IWM was down 2%, 2.25, and 10 billion ish cap. 1 to 10 billion ish cap stocks were down 1.4, 1.7. So it's kind of a little bit of slight strength there. We go to intelligence, if I can find it. What do we have? Kind of a long list here this week. Okay, inverse banks, short China, short Brazil, short China, ultra Dow, industrials, bullish industrials, just kind of goes along with the Dow, some MLP stuff. Okay, I'm going to ignore the rest of these. Okay, so maybe not a whole lot to go off of this. I mean, you like to see the Dow being bullish, but really, on the downside, we've got ultra short crude is bearish, so bullish crude. VIX is bearish. Okay, that's kind of supportive for the market. Ultra treasuries are bearish. Okay, that's not supportive for the market, just because treasuries, every time rates have gone up, the NASDAQ really falls apart, which kind of means the general market doesn't do that great. Although maybe if the treasuries are slightly down, the NASDAQ kind of can hold it together a little bit. Dow's bullish. I mean, you end up with kind of just a choppy week of doing nothing, which as you approach sort of a holiday, you might expect that. I know usually these weeks preceding holidays historically are pretty bullish, but when you're in a bear market, all your bullish stats kind of don't mean anything because you're in a different regime. So yeah, I would be looking for kind of just a choppy week, maybe some follow through on Monday or Monday into Tuesday from just the late week bearishness as people still process the Jerome comments and all this stuff. But I wouldn't expect it to be too substantial. And actually, I think you'd start seeing some short covering and then some light buying if there's an initial down move. Just because People are done trading for the year for the most part. I mean, okay, let's not say it like that, but no one's interested in blowing up their account right before Christmas and New Year's and all this stuff. Bear market. So probably if you get a down move, you'll just see some short covering. Probably end up kind of around flat, maybe slightly up on the week. But nothing too, I don't think nothing too wild one side or the other. Kind of just a choppy week. You can think about buying, buying some dips or whatever, but I don't think anything too exciting going to be happening this week. So, yeah, that's all from me. Hope everybody has a Merry Christmas, and be back next week. See how we did. Week after that, between Christmas and New Year's, we'll probably be completely dead. But hope everybody finishes out the year pretty well, and talk soon. Bye.